this developing story. As you can see there, one protester I've just seen throwing stones towards Parliament. Of course, I guess this is towards police officers who are trying to disperse those crowds that are gathering there next to Parliament. As you can see, tear gas has been lobbed towards the protesters, towards the crowds trying to disperse there. One person has been injured. As you can see, they're trying to help. She has a bandage on her leg, if I'm not wrong, but there you have it. More ambulances getting there to aid those who have been injured, and we will continue monitoring this situation. Let's just listen in to what is happening.
Nina feel kwenda huko down. Wala kwa Parliament. Sini ile kutoka Continental.
Ile inaenda Continental.
Honda kwa.
Huyo mwetu unaenda Continental. Sasa tana jinsi Attention to ambulance.
Hebu enda YouTube na simu yangu uniambie. Hey, iti. Tiaga studio tumekula sana. Uli family hapo tu. Hapana. Nikiwa juu. Bado niko tu. Ila nasema YouTube.
Choka.
Wacha tu. Unaona hata Emmanuel lazima tungepanda pale juu tungekuwa na shot.
Hapo. Wale
Action.
Sasa
You want to
Hii internet imekatwa eh? Wamenyoa internet.
Wamenyoa internet. But shikilia tu hapo. Kama kwenye kwako. Nikina siku ile na kamera yangu. Kana smart za gazeti. Wewe umechukua shot. Bana, kazi yako chukua tu shot. Utazipost tu chukua.
Umenyoa internet.
Hivi haona YouTube.
Nimeswitch VPN yangu.
Prezo tu angeita watu wasimamishe.
Angetoa draft. Angefanya tukume kitu mbaya.
I'm very interested to see what happens next.
Yeah, what is because this is human rights. And appreciate between citizens and our country. So we don't have to government. In energies.
Na moja iko na watu less than 100.
Can you do a colleague? Nakwambia utapata invitation leo mtu wangu.
Those are live pictures we are seeing from Parliament buildings. There, the tunnel that you have seen, some members of Parliament and staff members are using to escape from Parliament to Bunge Towers. Remember, earlier on we were speaking to Daniel Kariuki, who is camping at the Parliament buildings, assessing the situation and trying to inform us on whatever is happening there. And he did mention that some of the members of Parliament, as well as staff members, were trying to run to safety. But all these coming after some of the protesters managed to break a fence surrounding Parliament and managed to enter Parliament buildings. Of course, we saw some destruction of some sort happening. We saw them running out with some of the flags. We equally saw them break a few windows. And of course, we saw gunshots with security officers trying to quell that situation, trying to remove protesters from Parliament buildings. But it's equally good to note that we're getting confirmation from St. John's Ambulance saying that so far 8 protesters have been confirmed dead, and we equally saw a few ambulances coming to the Parliament buildings trying to tend or give aid to those who have been injured in the midst of these scuffles that are being witnessed here in Nairobi CBD. Remember, these particular protests that we're seeing have been happening across the country, from Mombasa to Nyeri to Nakuru to Eldoret. We have seen protesters come out in large numbers trying to ensure and protest against the Finance Bill 2024. They wanted their members of Parliament to reject that particular finance bill, saying that the tax measures that are being proposed are punitive and are draconian, if I may use the terms that are being used by Gen Z. Of course, they keep on saying that there's particular protests are being fueled by their anger and their hunger. They're complaining about the high cost of living. They're complaining about the unemployment crisis being faced in the country. They're equally complaining about the expenditure that the government seems to, in their words, they're saying that the government should reduce the expenditure. They want the public finances managed properly by the government and those who are in charge. And they equally want accountability from their leaders. Remember, this coming on a day that we saw the Finance Bill 2024 reached the committee stage, where we saw some of those amendments that were proposed by the government pass through. But of course, that final vote has not yet happened. It is yet to happen. All this is for the government to try and raise additional revenue of 346 billion shillings. They're saying this will help with running the country. But of course, those are live pictures you're seeing on the screen. This is what is happening here in Nairobi, the CBD Parliament buildings. Some protesters managed to enter the Parliament precincts, and of course some chaos of some sort was witnessed. Guns have been we've seen gunshots being witnessed. We've seen a few people being injured, others have been shot dead. And also we have seen the members of Parliament try and run to Bunge Towers, running to safety through that particular tunnel that is connecting Parliament buildings to Bunge Tower. Of course, we continue monitoring the situation, not just in Nairobi, but also in different parts of the country. We're equally monitoring the diaspora protests, the Kenyans who are in the diaspora, United Kingdom, USA. They're trying to, protest in solidarity with their fellow Kenyans. So this is the situation. So far, St. John's Ambulance has confirmed their number of deaths. When we last got that tally, it was 8 protesters who have been confirmed dead, several others injured. We have seen destruction of property in the CBD here in Nairobi. We've equally seen a police lorry being set on fire. We've seen Azimio allied members of Parliament, say they're in the side of the people, they're with the people when it comes to the rejection of this Finance Bill 2024. So that is the situation on the ground. We're trying to get our reporters on the ground to give us an update on what exactly is happening at this particular moment. As you can see those shots, it seems there's explosions, or is it fire that has been lit, different parts. This is courtesy of TV47. This is inside Parliament. And you can see the destruction that has happened there. Tables broken. As you can see, there are broken windows, broken furniture, destruction that has been, done by those protesting the Finance Bill 2024. So far, Parliament building seems to have been evacuated. No one seems to be in sight apart from security officers, police officers. And earlier on, Daniel Kariuki did mention that it was the Parliament security that did respond as fast as they could to the breach of those Parliament buildings. So that is the situation on the ground. We keep on trying to figure out what exactly is happening. That is the destruction that has been witnessed here in Nairobi, in the Parliament buildings, in CBD. Of course, protesters are saying they're fighting for their rights, they're fighting for their future, and that the cost of living is hard as it is. And these taxes that will be imposed by the Finance Bill 2024 will only make lives harder for them. Remember, this is coming at a time where we're seeing the rate of unemployment rise here in the country, as well as the rate of the high cost of living, shoot due to what is being witnessed not only in the country but also globally by different issues that are causing this. But also, as we knew earlier on, security had been beefed up at Parliament buildings. I believe that is still the situation right now. We're trying to get our reporters to assess what exactly is happening. But remember, this comes at a time when the Financial Bill 2024 had reached the committee stage, and we saw members of Parliament pass those amendments. So we're yet to get to the voting stage that is yet to happen before the bill is completely passed and, of course, taken to the president for ascension. But that is the situation on the ground. We saw members of Parliament today consider amendments, as well as they will be voting on clause-by-clause basis to ensure that they agree with the clauses that are being passed in the Finance Bill 2024. But it's equally good to note that we saw those amendments being done last week on Tuesday. Remember, President William Ruto did chair a Kenya Kwanza parliamentary group meeting where some of these amendments came through. And of course, what the government is saying is that they listened to the complaints of the Kenyans during the public participation stage, as Kenyans were taking concern and issue on the issue of the VAT on bread, the issue on the VAT on edible oil. These all were repealed from this Finance Bill 2024, including the 2.5% motor vehicle circulation tax. So the government did say, and we've seen members of Parliament trying to defend their stance of, defending this Finance Bill and ensuring that it passed. Last week on Thursday, during the second reading, we saw 204 members of Parliament vote yes towards the Finance Bill 2024, while 115 voted for no. Many of them were saying, those who voted for no were saying that, this particular bill, it will hurt Kenyans, and of course, this will only ensure that the cost of living is harder for Kenyans. But that is the situation on the ground. As you can see there, police officers trying to surround Parliament buildings. We've seen destruction. So far, at least, we're not seeing clouds of tear gas, meaning maybe some of those protesters have dispersed, with fears after the gunshots were heard and several others were equally shot, others injured. But we've seen the destruction that has taken place. We've seen glasses being broken inside Parliament. We've equally seen furniture, broken. So this is what is happening in Nairobi, but it's also good to note that these protests are not only in Nairobi, they're equally in Nakuru, they're being witnessed in Eldoret, different parts of this nation, from Lamu to Kwale to Kilifi, you name it, they're all, the Gen Z, that is the youth, are coming out and they're saying we need to reject this Finance Bill 2024. Our members of parliament need to listen to us. We are the ones who put them in power, and therefore they need to listen to what we need as a country. They are saying all this has been sparked by anger and hunger. That is the situation. I'm trying to figure out where exactly this is happening. The live pictures on your screen right now. It should be near Parliament buildings. These are just protesters who are trying to make their way away from Parliament, if I am not wrong, after what was witnessed a few minutes ago. Remember, a section of Parliament is on fire. We equally saw a police lorry set on fire. So Parliament windows equally broken. All this experience in a span of less than 1 hour. The situation went from bad to worse in a few seconds. You can see there, this is inside Parliament buildings, that destruction, the flags that have been, destroyed, brought to the ground. I believe those are county flags, if I'm not wrong, then that should be the Senate. So this is the situation on the ground. We continue trying to get information to update our viewers about last we saw, that is members of Parliament together with some staff, Parliament staff, run to safety, trying to access the Bunge Towers through the tunnel that was recently built, connecting the Bunge Towers and Parliament buildings.
Hili ni swala ambalo linaonekana